A lot of the richest people, recessions are garage sales for the rich and well-prepared. Stuff gets beaten down, loses its value, but it's still at its core principle very solid. That's when you buy it. So Jason Garrett's interviewing for the Chargers job, and I can just hear it today. I went on Twitter for 5 minutes. Oh, my God. And a bunch of know-nothings on Twitter were telling you how bad Jason Garrett was. Let me just throw this at you. Jason Garrett's winning percentage is 56% in the NFL. Bill Parcells is 57%. And Jason Garrett did it with a meddling owner and his two quarterbacks. One was undrafted and one went in the 4th round. Sound like a guy who can't coach? A Princeton grad from the Ivy League, a former NFL quarterback with 3 division titles, with an undrafted quarterback, a 4th-round quarterback, and a meddling owner. What Jason Garrett needs is a new PR person. He doesn't need to be a better coach. Here's Jason Garrett. Here's Jason Garrett's offensive ranks as coach of the Dallas Cowboys. 9 years. Points per game, 6th. Yards per game, 6th. Passer rating, 6th. Yards per play, 2nd. You're telling me that guy can't coach? By the way, he had constant drama. Jerry drama. Dez drama. Zeke drama. I mean, it's a turnstile of outspoken players, holdouts. First of all, it's hard to coach the Dallas Cowboys. Texas is a state that loves football, has unrealistic expectations, and there's a lot of money and egos. It's why the Texas Longhorns and the Dallas Cowboys always seem to be changing coaches. They look like the world's best jobs, but with the Longhorns and with the Cowboys in this glamorous, well-heeled state, it's very attractive, right? You fly into Dallas, you see 9 high school football stadiums. They look like colleges. Football's big. There's expectations. There's lots of ego. There's lots of money. The Longhorns can never quite get the program right. There's a reason. Unrealistic expectations. They just fired a coach who had the same record as Dabo Swinney 4 years at Houston, or 4 years at Clemson. First 4 years at Clemson, first 4 years at Texas. Dabo and Tom Herman, same record. The difference is Tom Herman, 4-0 in bowls, Dabo 2-2. The Cowboys are hard to coach. They've had the first 33 years of their existence, they had 2 coaches, Jimmy Johnson and Tom Landry. And everybody's compared to those 2, and everybody in Dallas hates their coach, not named Tom Landry or Jimmy Johnson. They didn't even like Parcells, who's a top 5 coach in my lifetime. They don't have a real general manager. They don't have a real president. Jerry's the owner. Jerry's the GM. Jerry's the president. You think this is easy to coach? I'll say it again. Jason Garrett, look at his offensive numbers for the last 9 years. Now he gets Justin Herbert, a capable, real GM. The Spanos family are non-meddling owners. They don't spend the big money like Jerry, but they don't meddle. And for the record, I don't think it's outside of playing Mahomes a couple times a year, there's a lot of dysfunction in that organization. So this reminds me of Les Miles. Everybody bagged on Les Miles. So LSU fires Les Miles, who's winning 10.5 games a year because he can't beat Nick Saban. By the way, nobody in the SEC can beat Nick Saban. Maybe nobody in the country can beat Nick Saban except occasionally Clemson. So they fire him, and now they got Ed Orgeron. He won a national title and won 77% of his games. They fire him because he's a little quirky. Well, they hire Ed Orgeron, who's even quirkier, and he wins 76% of his games. And I predict he won't be there in a year. Like at some point, Les Miles and Jason Garrett just need better PR people. But they can both coach. You win 10 games a year in the SEC, you're a good coach. But everybody in the SEC can't beat Saban. Everybody's firing everybody. The history of LSU football, they win on average about 9 games. Les Miles won 10, won a national title, beat Saban a couple times, out the door. So I'm telling you, as a value stock, Jason Garrett with Justin Herbert, you don't have a lot of ego. They have a real GM, non-meddling owner, Justin Herbert, all sorts of stars. This idea that Jason Garrett can't coach is silly. I mean, say what you want, but his first year with Daniel Jones got better at the end of the year, and Daniel Jones is not great, but he got a lot better, stopped all the turnovers. It's crazy. Sometimes some of these coaches need better PR people. They're fine. There's just some like thing out there. Oh, they can't coach. Oh, they just this. The Rooneys with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin have had a lot of disappointing seasons together. A lot of drama and a lot of disappointing seasons, but they just don't fire them. I mean, let me ask you. You watched the Dallas Cowboys this year. First year without Jason Garrett. Did they look better coached?